There are over 900 towers in Dubai, and every single one of them has been built in the last 40 years. Before that, Dubai looked like this. Then in 1979, this. A 39-story building in the middle of the Arabian desert. This is the Dubai World Trade Center.
It was the tallest building between Mumbai and Athens, including the whole of the Arab world. So that made an impact.
That's Guy Gilmar, the Trade Center's first employee, general manager and director.
The Trade Center stood alone in the desert, and people were extremely puzzled why a high-rise building would be put up in open land. I think it's probably a world first.
It even got a visit from Queen Elizabeth on opening day.
She arrived by car, was introduced to everybody before going on into the building, including me, of course. And of course we flew the Royal Standard, which I think is quite unusual.
That's Gordon Heald. He designed and supervised the Trade Center, and here he is with the Queen at the inauguration, along with lead architect John Harris.
It made Dubai, didn't it? What you see now is this enormous metropolis of tall buildings, and it was the Trade Center that set it all going.
It may seem obvious now. Build a business center in one of the wealthiest nations on the planet and you'll attract global companies. But in 1970s Dubai, this was something new. Next to Gordon in this picture is Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai and the Prime Minister of the newly formed United Arab Emirates. It was his idea to build the skyscraper trade center in the first place. For centuries, Dubai's main industry was pearl harvesting. But in the 1930s, the pearl industry collapsed due to the Great Depression and the invention of the synthetic pearl. But a few decades later, Dubai had another largely untapped resource waiting to flow into the market. In 1966, Dubai found oil, and estimates show that the population grew by 1,000% over the next 40 years. By 1991, black gold accounted for around 50% of Dubai's GDP, creating a rich environment for new business. Sheikh Rashid used the proceeds of Dubai's oil to develop the city's infrastructure, including the trade center.
What he really wanted to do was to make a statement that the Dubai side was in business, and also a signal to Abu Dhabi that, we are your rivals and we are really coming after you.
Building the first skyscraper in a nation isn't all straightforward, though. For one, the sand in the desert wasn't right for the cement.
We actually had to use sand from the beach in its place, which seems a rather strange thing to have to do in a desert.
As nobody had seen such a tall building before, rumors were quick to spread.
There were lines of lampposts not far away, which were not quite vertical. And I think that's what started the rumor that the tower was actually leaning.
And if that wasn't enough, when they reached the 10th floor of the Trade Center, Sheikh Rashid decided he wanted it taller, so demanded extra floors to be put on. Originally, it was designed with 33, then they increased it to 39. Today, the 1.3 million square foot tower is home to 500 events a year, attracting 3 million people from 160 countries.
If you'd asked me in 1979, Guy, will Dubai become a tourism center? I'd have said, what are you smoking? I think that the element of skepticism about why is so much money being spent on this immense tower and the surrounding buildings quickly evaporated, because the niche that we were able to exploit was to establish it and establish Dubai as the premier business address in the Middle East.